ice cream. My pockets looking blessed up. All the talking never.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Jaguars going up against the Cardinals. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Larry, with a sight of fans splashing in pools behind the end zone, we can only be in one place. That's Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And you know, Charles, as Larry pointed out in the open, got a couple of great quarterbacks set to square off here this afternoon. That ball's probably going to be flying all over the place, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And the game has never been more quarterback-centric than it is now. And both of these teams have top-flight signal callers.
This will be fielded at the 8. Jacksonville taking the field. There's their quarterback, Blake Bortles, who had somewhat of a roller coaster year, but more wins this season than in his first 3 years combined. And look, the defense helped, but the bottom line, they were within earshot of going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no matter what you say about his season, roller coaster or not, he did the biggest thing. Led his team to 2 playoff wins, and just what you said, within an eyelash of taking out the New England Patriots and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. A really great finish for Blake Bortles and the Jaguars.
Like the way it sounds, Frody? Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe. It's too hot, drop the top off the wagon. Lay back, fire like dragon. Man, I'm flying past Saturn. Out of here like I ain't that savage. Two. It's like I'm at the studio with Michael. You can hear me dancing on the beat. Bam, bam, about to put a mansion on the beach. 100 Latins in your lobby. That's what happens when you're around with body. And I put that in my mommy. I will never give my heart to a rocket. Just make a dance that goes with this song. Then I'ma be on. Basic, gon' dance to it. Basic, everywhere, gon' dance to it. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute. White Range Rover, in it. Let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. White Range Rover, ball in it. You gotta, baby, shake that, shake that. Shake that, you gotta, baby, shake that, shake that, shake that. I got 2 shows, I'm about to pitch another. Throwing alley-oops to my brothers. We all shine, nobody victims. I'm on these sweatsuits, black Pippins. I swag different. That's why the money in the bag different. Come up short, you have your fam.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, 2 quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Jaguars going up against the Cardinals. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, the fans in teal and black are ready to lock down the bank as you get a look inside Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and you know, now more than ever, it's a passing league. We know that, and as Larry hit onto the open, we've got a couple of great passers squaring off here this afternoon.
And usually the discussion centers in on how they're going to compete against the opposite defense. But you and I had a nice little chat with one of these guys in this game, and they did say, look, I'm always competing against the opposite quarterback. If I play better than he does, I think my team has an advantage.
Makes the handshake afterwards a little sweeter, too. So Arizona will get the ball here in just a moment, and in 2018 at that quarterback spot, Charles, they're going to have a big hole to fill in the desert because on January 2nd, Carson Palmer officially announcing his retirement, and Blaine Gabbert, Drew Stanton get some starts, but neither was particularly inspiring.
No, when you're talking about Carson Palmer and the way that they ran offense under then head coach Bruce Arians, they threw the ball downfield. And it shows up in Carson Palmer's records, right? 12th all-time in both passing yardage and touchdown passes. So they've got to find someone that'll be able to fling it downfield and continue to try and play that way.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So 2nd and 10 here. Again, it's Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So it'll be first down here after the run. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
He'll look to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Going with their tight end on 4th. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jermaine Gresham, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Lee. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And now the starting lineup for the offense. And Julius Thomas highlighted, my friend.
Brandon, he's one of the latest in a long line of basketball players turned football players. Who have had great success, and he uses those basketball skills to get open in his pass routes.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, the spin. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here comes Arizona's offense back onto the field. And earlier we were talking about the quarterback position. A big decision coming up on that spot. But, you know, Cardinal fans and fantasy football owners, I guess, so disappointed when David Johnson went down in the opener with a fractured wrist, wound up missing the season. That kind of got overlooked in 2017.
It certainly did, and it was the first big domino and why the Cardinals didn't really make a run at the playoffs this year, because of David Johnson's ability to run it and catch it and initiate all the offense that the Cardinals wanted to run. The defense still held up. Calais Campbell went to Jacksonville. The defense was still 6th in the league. But offensively, we're not nearly the same team. Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, Yeah, he might be locked in for this one. I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now the return, Rashad Green. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Robert Kimdichie in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number, led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had, or the scheme, or both, or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. On play action, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense now can make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken it around the 40. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point try now for Dawson. And it is now 21-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This one taken from the 7. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The front team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He won't go down. A great return there of 22 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Looking to throw. Being chased out left. And he's got some space here. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one. And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than... You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge. Jags taking over on offense here in a second. And what a season, Charles, it was for Jacksonville. Some people did like them as a dark horse coming into the year, and they really responded. Heard recently at one of the, all-star games, college all-star games, a scout saying, well, heck, haven't they been the dark horse for the last 5 years coming into the season? And he seemed a little bit bitter, so I'm going to let him go on that one. But the point is well taken. They have been building towards this. Really good drafts, really supplemented in free agency. And, yeah, they were a dark horse, but they played awfully well. 11 wins, 2 more in the playoffs. I think right now they'd love to get Allen Robinson back at wide receiver and add another playmaking tight end. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again. Line of scrimmage. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he is level. Knocked down hard, right near the 27. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there. Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Lambeau will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points. Very happy to get to 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year. How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award. Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year. Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. They'll set up to throw. Caught right side, Gresham. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Malik Jackson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 4th down, Bruce Arians will send out his field goal unit. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded just inside the 30. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns. Of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game, and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They go to Johnson again. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, that's now to run this. Make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11th. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On second down, here's Fournette. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it with Johnson. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals add on. He's got the... Trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap. Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, it was 0 space. No gain.
On 3rd down, Fournette busts through the tackle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 7. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Here we go now.
Johnson on the counter. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. There goes Larry Fitzgerald. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, 69 yards. And the Cards continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken near the 13. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again. We get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. This one complete to Gresham. Oh, and now some space to operate. Still, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jermaine Gresham with his... Second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals add on. And the route is on here in this first half. kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. On first down, Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Robert Kimdichie in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing. There on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cardinals are simply running the show in the first half. They've controlled the game and are way out in front. The Jaguars have an uphill battle in front of them, but will try to claw back in this one. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 1st and 10, quick pass and completion to Jermaine Gresham. And that's a house call. Cardinals with the football midway through the first as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Johnson's going to look for space, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. Jaguars set the punt it away. Johnson's got a chance for a return, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. Cardinals take it at the 11 as they go up here at 21-0. Pass coverage will break down here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown as they continue to dominate. Cardinals have it late in the second. Fitzgerald's by himself here, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. Still late in the first half as they continue to dominate. Gresham's the target here, and this play goes for a score as this wild first half continues. So that'll do it from here in Orlando for the second half kickoff. Let's get back upstate to Jacksonville and Brandon Guy.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game. We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Gets it to Bryce Butler, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when... And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson taking it in. From 4 yards out, and the Cards continue to pour it on. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Robert Kindici able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way down to the 7-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 68 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee from 6 yards away. And the Jags are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And fights through one man. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Forced out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Well, that wasn't a real confident throw, but I think we can understand why with the way this game has gone. He's been harassed, moved out of the pocket, sacked a bunch of times. Makes it tough to get set and throw.
Yeah, pressure's been relentless. It was relentless there. A dangerous throw downfield. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Bortles. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Hassan Reddick coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Here's Andy Lee now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets it away, and it's a laser. Headed for the sidelines. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Bortles now on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lee. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Here we go now. Green 90.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcus Golden from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. It's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there from 3 yards out. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Hurry up, watch it now, Barney. Back line it up, Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to loft one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, 58 yards. And the Cardinals add on. And my friend, I think it's safe to say, that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it?
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Robert Kimdichie. Who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And that is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 15. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback,
He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Corey Peters continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out.
Oh, no time to pitch it, and down he goes. And it's in the end zone. That's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
And he's right there on the doorstep now. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
He's saying afternoon to forget, absolutely. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be second and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And he'll be brought down at about the 4. He didn't get in, nowhere close. Johnson kept out of the end zone on 4th down, and the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there, and I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Here's a give to Fournette, and they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making a play there.
Again, it's Fournette. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now 4th down from their own 2, and a bad situation, to be frank, for the special teams.
Yeah, if you are the punting team now, your number one thing is protect the punter, because you got to think they may actually come after him trying to get a big play.
Taken from just outside the 30. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again. We get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he was really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, 36 yards. And the Cards continue. To pour it on. Now Dawson for the extra point. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Green 90. Green 90.
Bortles now on 1st down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Bortles, he's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Toward the sideline, that's hauled in by Macklin. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On the toss, here's Johnson. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Barry Church. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Now we'll get whistles, and they signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. One final try now for Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Defensively, they've had their